Hello. Justina stole my question about how many of you have bought on Allegro, so I will not ask that. I will tell you a story about Allegro. But for those of you who have never bought something on Allegro, what is it? It's actually the largest e-commerce marketplace in Poland. 90% of persons in Poland can recognize the sign asked about e-commerce. Actually, 30% of those persons are starting their e-commerce journeys on Allegro. So if you want to buy a ball, any kind of electronics, you just enter it on Allegro, not on Google. Allegro is also 500 million offers, so pretty big scale if you think in technical terms, and 7,000 employees who work to make it happen. My name is Pastwa. I'm a senior product manager on Allegro, and I will be telling you today the story of how product teams moved us towards international sales. We all know product teams. We all know what they are, and those at Allegro are no much different than others. Let me share with you a few details. One thing, they are just two pizza teams. We all know them. 3 to 8 persons, developers, analysts, engineering manager, and product manager. They are responsible for dedicated area for some part of the product or for some specific product. Depends on how you define it. If you've been yesterday on talk about microservices, those teams have one or more microservices under their care. They have specific metrics and goals to take care of. And what is also normal, they are responsible for development, adding something, and maintaining it along the life cycle of product. So if you buy something on Allegro, the teams are working constantly to make it possible to deliver it to you, to add any value you need. And finally, they are focused on delivering value, not exactly features. So it might be that they will have some request which they didn't find out to be really bringing value, or they don't see it as something worth doing, and they will optimize by saying no. To give you an example of how it works, let's imagine an e-commerce, maybe not as big as one we have, and we start from dividing our process into value stream. So divide it from entering the page till adding to a cart, and assign this part of process to one team. That will be one setup you can go. The next step is from adding to cart to finished payment. That's other step. You can assign other team with the metrics, with the responsibility to work on that. And in the end, you have to deliver it. So from finished payment till delivery, that can be another team you are taking care of. And we can call those teams. Let's call them search and select, order and pay, and deliver. That would be easy, but Allegro is actually a marketplace. So we have to take care also about the other customer, merchant, somebody who sells on Allegro. So to do that, we have another team taking care of process from merchant registering till he settle any financials with us. And now the scale comes into mind. We have to do that for 500 million offers. We have to do that for now multiple countries. So we also have a technical platform. So let's have merchant experience team and technical platform team. And it all sounds nice, but the scale of Allegro is different. Actually, you have more than 30 teams in each of these areas. Altogether, 270 teams, and it was a month ago, so it may already change. With this scale, you can imagine coordination will be an issue, will be something that we constantly work on. Some ideas how we handle this. Over the product team, we have one person managing the area, let's call it, value stream somehow. It will be smaller than the parts I showed you before, but it will be 3 to 5 teams connected by some topic. Both engineering part and product part have a same boss, someone called senior engineering and product manager, who is looking on a wider perspective, who is also either experienced product manager or experienced engineering manager, so he knows how these things works together. Each team and each area create their own roadmap, and they have to consider both their own work, the ideas how to deliver value, but it's such a big company, also requests from other teams. Just as Konstantin was saying, they are all coming to them. And of course, very important requests from board, from some directors. So this is also their responsibility. Decision power and the responsibility lies within the team. So they say no, they say yes. Of course, they have to provide some value into that decision or some consideration, but they have decision power and they have responsibility on the results. As we said, they have goals and metrics. How those product teams help us go international? To go into that, we need to understand the context we were before that. The context was, we were 25 years in Poland, working on tech stack, which was focused on Polish zlotys as a currency, Polish delivery methods, Polish payment methods. Everything was built for Poland. And now we are tasked to go abroad, to do something different. So it's first challenge. Second challenge is technical. We still were doing migration from previous PHP monolith, different technology, to Java microservices. So there are still teams who are rewriting parts of all environment just to make it happen. And the third thing is, we already had a history of going international. We tried a few times, no big successes, some lessons, but it's still something that was a good or bad memory for many of the members of the teams. What was helping us in that way? First, product teams helped us get better decisions. Why? In such big project, you have to take some decision from the top. So you have to say, for example, that offer will be the same on each marketplace. Actually, the group of product managers and principal engineers came together with few major decisions that were taken for the company, kind of strategic architecture. But all other decisions, also stemming from those on the top, were given to the teams for coordinate, consult, discuss, and implement. Were given to the teams because teams know their context, know their customers, their suppliers, what will be easy for them, what will be hard. So it was much better to give people closer to the trenches a decision power. And those decisions, at least in my view, were better because people who made them know what they are doing. The second thing we have better in this area was delivery. When you have teams who know their products, know the challenges, the problems that they had, also with maintenance, then you will have a truthful discussion when it comes to any kind of estimation. So nobody will sugarcoat to you, yeah, we will deliver, yeah, it will be okay. They will tell you the problems. The problems might be, we have to take a different approach. We need another team to tell us. This is something that you may not have if you have a project team, which will be only responsible for success of the project. They will tell you, we will deliver, and nobody cares what's after. So product teams are also helping you have more predictable delivery. Next thing, coordination. You've seen the number, 270 teams. That's a big number. And actually, the only way you can do some coordination here is let them do it. They will be autonomous and they will know that they want to deliver a good job. So they will discuss the issues with their customers, with suppliers, with anybody around, present their case and decide on something they have to do on this area. Maybe also raise a hand and said, we need another team to deliver that. Of course, even if every team will do the great job, in such complex world we have, it will be something that missed the mark, that we didn't find on the very beginning. To solve that, we found the other way which will be helpful. We set up an open common channel, actually on Slack. There was a channel that everybody, starting from the consumer consultant on the phone with the merchant, ending at VP in Czech organization, can write his question or his problem or how to approach this idea in the international expansion. And there were people responsible for steering questions to the team. And I can think of 3 or 4 big issues we found only thanks to some either consultant somewhere on the entry level who find out that something we forgot and we need to address that, or somebody from very top saying, guys, I don't see this problem being solved, and somebody will have to take care of it. So you support this network of teams with the open channels open to everyone, just to have the discussion to achieve the goal. And finally, for me, product teams are also easier team growth. As I said, there might be an issue of building a team to support some function, to support this growth, support this international expansion project. What we actually have done is to build them in a specific way. We hire people and onboard them as tourists to the connected teams. So we sent 2 people to the one team who was customer of our services, 2 people to the supplier, 2 people some other adjacent team. They were fresh in Allegro. They started working in a connected team on the technology. And during the 3 or 2 months stint, they learned the product culture, how the team works, how the Allegro works, and also process and technology in this specific area. That way, in 2 or 3 months, you can have a team which already knows the technology, knows everything what they will be working on, and also is equipped with the culture, with understanding, actually 3 cultures from 3 different teams, to build their own as something to work on. And this team is, in this time, ready to take on any challenge. Build new product, take old product. They already know the stuff, know the culture, and what is also important, they have connections. They know people from the other side. They know people from other team, and it will be much easier to solve any problem along the way. How have it ended? How does it end? After a year of work in 2023, we delivered Allegro CZ. On Czechia, you can bet then 100 million offers, now much more. I can proudly say that as of yesterday, we are also in Slovakia and especially yesterday, Hungary. And we are ready to open new markets. What is also interesting, we have 20 million active buyers from all those countries. So if you discount Hungary, who started yesterday, you have half of adult population as an active buyer. Pretty impressive. To sum up, why product teams? Why do this in such big projects? First, you can do big changes without interruption. All of this had to be done without blocking any sales in Poland, any sales on any marketplace we work on. You have decisions made by people close to that front line, where the real knowledge lies. And change is delivered on time without sacrificing long-term interests. We all know about the issues of project which was delivered and then forgotten. Then the problems stayed with other teams. That's not the case of product teams. That's all from me. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
And we have questions. Thank you. That were impressive numbers. First question that we have. How do you handle synchronization of roadmaps when dealing with features which overlap 2-3 different areas or flows?
By talking to each other. Yeah, basically, it will be always the case that you have some overlapping features. One thing you can do to solve them is actually think about your architecture and think how you can reorganize to have the services working together. But other way is just planning it. So let's assume that this quarter you will do this, then we'll be ready to do this, and so on and so on. It's a discussion. And what I see different from other companies I worked at, it was the discussion between the teams, not within some project management steering committee. The team A is talking to team B we need that when we can have it. We cannot have it right now. Let's give you a test version there and the production here. And that's the way to agree on that. A lot lies in the teams, but it's also the best place to solve it.
Probably connected to this, how do you handle cross-team dependencies? How do you work on changes that have to be made on several?
Number one, avoid them. So try to organize teams to not have it. Number two, of course, they will be, and they always will be. There is a task of a team who's leading to organize it. Sometimes it means that developer goes on the walk throughout 5 teams and discuss with them, okay, we need this when you can have it. We need this, we need this, we need this. All happening within the context of a team. So the people who are really depending on this work can agree, maybe discuss some compromise or align the steps in a way that it will be useful for both sides. But it's really about teams talking to each other and not using any formal process, rather pushing together.
Now is challenging question.
Okay.
Why Allegro decided not to hire Scrum Master? How do you improve agility in the company without them?
I think that the story was different. I was not there at the time, but I think that Allegro decided not to hire more Scrum Masters and then move them to another roles. Because I know people who are Scrum Masters now are product managers or in different roles. But the decision probably is due to the fact that what happens within the team. And we already had that in some other presentation. If the team chooses to do Scrum, that's okay. They have to deliver. If they chooses to do whatever they choose, Kanban, something else, just boss telling me to do, it's also okay as soon as they, or at least as they deliver the results. So it's up to the team to organize themselves. And it's also something that is, I think this is the major win in Allegro, that we have encoded in the culture, that you have to grow up, that you do the retro. If you have a 5-team project, at the end, you organize a retro for all those 5 teams and improve on that. And each team has its own culture, own idea how to do that. Some things are just encoded, that you will have to learn, you will have to improve, and you do that either me as a Scrum Master, as a product manager, some developer, maybe engineering manager. So do it within the team. That was the idea.
Thank you. And one more question, because this is really interesting. What does Allegro do to make sure that people are educated in the technical areas, but also have a product-oriented mindset?
So each team has, as I told you, responsibility of some part of the product. Ideally, that's not always the case, but they have all the access to data, to results of the product, to the goals that we have. So if I am a team, actually I'm a team which is responsible for campaigns like Allegro Days, the advertisement starting next week. And this team, with the developers, we look at results of this, how many things were sold, what was the profit out of it, and whether we choose the good things for the promotion or not. So we are actually showing all the data needed by the team to understand, and let team also, these developers, engineering managers, product managers, to discuss it. Is it good to we do this feature? Will it help in the problem that we're solving? So it's all about including the people then. And of course, there may be people that don't like that much being included in the business talk, but in the culture we have something like be involved, discuss it, and if don't, then maybe move to the technical platform. Then you will work for some other developers. That's maybe also the way.
Thank you.